Hi guys, I'm What If Black and this is going to be my first What If. Before we get into this What If, Happy New Year guys! Welcome to 2021 and this is my first What If. Deku was shot noir and this is my first What If. Now, before we get into this What If, I'm going to say that Black is the only Kwame. Only Kwame in My Hero universe. Because in Ladybug universe or Miraculous universe, the other Kwamis decided that Plague is too dangerous, or Tiki and Plague are too dangerous. So they decided that we need to send one of them away, to make sure that Hogmoth or not another villain just didn't takes the two and makes the wish. As they sent Plague to another universe, to My Hero universe. As Plague says, "Why should I go? Can't you say, guys, send Tiki?" As they say, "Well, we need Tiki because she's the source of creation and she can only fix things, right? So if you destroy, you are more dangerous, Plague." As they just throw Plague to My Hero universe and the ring with him. Yeah, guys, I recorded this, but because of my stupid little brother, I need to record this again. Seriously, man, now I know how other YouTubers feel when their brothers disturb them. Yeah. Okay, let's just get back into the what if. So, everything goes exactly in canon, but in this, Deku is bullied way worse than in canon. And in this, Hisashi stayed for a little bit just to beat Deku, and after that, Inko just called the cops on him and just took him to jail. Hisashi took drugs and everything stuff like that. And just 1 minute, guys. Okay, now Hisashi took drugs and stuff like that. So Inko called the cops on him and took him to jail. Now we go to the starting of the anime where the teacher throws the paper and says, "I know you all want to I know you guys all want to be heroes." As Bakugo smirks and says, "Hey, teach, don't lump me in with these losers. I'm not going to be any honorary hero. I'm going to be the number one hero. They'll be lucky even if they got a role as a sidekick." As everyone starts booing Bakugo. As Bakugo says, "So what? Just think about it, you stupid weaklings. I am Bakugo Katsuki, and I got the perfect scores. I got the perfect rank in my quirk apprehension test, and I have my coolest quirk ever explosions. Just wait and see. I'm going to be the number one hero, just like All Might." And what All Might? As a kid shouts, as Bakugo looks at him and says, "Just like All Might? Ha! I'm going to surpass him," as Bakugo says. Well, Izuku thinks, "Surpass All Might, huh? That's stupid." As the teacher looks at the paper and says, "There's another one going to UA." As Bakugo says, "Who?" "I'm the only one who is even qualified to go to UA." As the teacher says, "Izuku Midoriya, didn't you want to go to UA?" As everyone in the class just starts laughing. "Izuku Midoriya? That kid?" As Izuku just has a blank face expression on his face. as Bakugo just slams his hand on Izuku's table and explodes it, as he says, "What are you thinking, you stupid nerd? Deku, you can never be a hero," as Bakugo just lands the explosion on Izuku's chest, as Izuku goes back a little bit, falls falls from his chair, as Bakugo says, "You'll never be a hero, Deku. You are worthless, you useless nerd." As the teacher says, "Alright, Bakugo, that's enough. Now go to your seats." As everyone in class still is laughing a little bit. Now, Izuku is bullied more than in canon. Sorry about that noise, guys. And Izuku is bullied more, and in this the teachers don't really care. Even the principal maybe a little bit, but he doesn't care about some core class kid getting bullied. When in when Izuku was packing his notes, he still takes information about heroes. As Izuku was packing his things, as Bakugo takes Izuku's notebook and says, "Don't you dare try to get into UI, Izuku or Deku." No, he doesn't say Izuku, just says Deku. "If you do, I'll just kill you." As Bakugo just explodes Izuku's notebook, as Izuku still has a blank expression on his face. As Bakugo just throws the book on back through the window. Sorry, guys, through the window. As the Bakugo says, "You should just take a swan dive off the roof, Deku. Maybe then you'll get a quirk in your next life." As Izuku just gets angry and clenches his fist. And when Bakugo leaves, Izuku goes to the pond and picks up his book when he thinks, maybe I should just die. Take the swan dive off the roof. Yeah, at least then I'll have a quirk in my next life. As Izuku is thinking this, he too takes the as Izuku is thinking this and walking, as he takes the same say as he goes to the tunnel as in the anime, as the sludge villain just grabs Izuku and says, "Give me your body, kid. I didn't know that freak was in the city." As Izuku just is struggling, as Izuku thinks, maybe I should just give up. At least this way I can die peacefully. As the sludge villain is about to take as Izuku is slowly losing his breath, as the sludge villain is going to take Izuku, as almost as the sweat drain pops out and All Might comes and says, "Ah, don't worry, young man. I am here." As the villain is in fear, as All Might clenches his fist and says, "United States of Smash." No, not United States. Just All Might says Smash. As All Might frees Izuku, and in this Izuku did train a little. No, I mean in canon when All Might puts him to the American Dream Plan training, yeah. When in the end of that Izuku had that body. No, Izuku had that body at this part of the what if. Yeah, he had that six pack. So as Izuku can is still a little bit wobbly, but he's getting up. As All Might sees Izuku's book and signs him and says, "Here you go, man. I even autographed it for you." As Izuku takes the book and about as All Might is about to jump away, Izuku didn't grab All Might and says, "Didn't grab All Might in this one." As Izuku just asked, I need to ask you a question, All Might. As Izuku didn't think heroes were that much when they just do it for the money, but he thinks All Might is a little bit different. As Izuku asked, can a quirkless kid can I be a hero even without a quirk? As All Might is thinking about this and says, no, you can't be a hero without a quirk. As Izuku still has a little bit shocked expression on his face, but he just makes the blank expression as All Might just jumps off. In this, All Might didn't get that much injured in the one for all, and all for one fight. In this, All Might can still do hero work for at least 6.5 hours. Yeah. So as Izuku is still thinking this, as Izuku is slowly clenching his fist and just punches a wall as the wall just cracks as Izuku is bleeding from his hand as Izuku thinks, what do you know, All Might? How dare you? You were supposed to be the number one hero, the symbol of peace, but yet you could say something like that. As Izuku is just losing his, as getting pissed more and more. All the anger. Yeah, in this, Izuku is uh 13. Yeah, I'm going to say the UA is going to be a high school. Yeah, yeah. So Izuku is 13 years old in this one, or 14. Yeah, 14 years old in this one. As Izuku thinks maybe he's not the number one hero I thought he was. He's just another fake. As Izuku thinks. As Izuku is slowly walking away from the alleyway. In this, the sludge villain attack didn't happen. All Might still is still in his little bit of prime, so he's he takes the sludge villain to the police officer and hands it to him. When Izuku is going through to a hospital as he buys a bandage and ties it around his hand as he goes and sits in a cafe as suddenly the door breaks and a villain just comes out and says three villains just come out and say don't move, just give us the money and we'll be on married way. As the uh, cafe owner says fine, just don't hurt us. As one of them has a quirk that makes the other people think the or the space outside think that everything is just normal. As the other one has knife quirk. What I mean by a knife quirk means he can make knives from his body, sort of like a Momo's quirk, but only knives in his case. And the other one has a explosion quirk, not like Bakugo. He can literally make anything explode. It depends on how big the object is, the bigger the explosion. As the as someone just as they just put up as the cafe owner just clicks a button as alarm started to ring off as the explosion the guy with the explosion just says you ratted us out you old old geezer as the old man says "Ugh," as he takes cover as the villain thinks maybe I should just kill them all as Izuku is just uh, uh, is down his as Izuku is just laying down as the villain says, "You know what, you geezer? I don't need your money. I'm just gonna explore all of you. As he touches a vending machine. No, not a vending machine means. Uh, he touches a, what should I call it? A big, uh, a big coffee machine. You can say espresso machine or something like that. As it started to heat up, and he says, good luck, you Jesus. As they just takes some cash and cash from the register and just leave. As the heroes were, came late, as the cafe just explodes, as Izuku is through the force of the explosion, as Izuku gets burned and thrown through the window, as Izuku has the mirror cuts into Izuku's body, as the he has a mirror cut through his face on his right cheek. No, not his cheek. I mean through his hand, and he has a third degree burn on his back and on his chest. A little bit on his chest, but more on his back. Now, when the explosion happens and Izuku is thrown off the window, the ambulance take Izuku. They check to see if he has a pulse, and they see that he has a pulse, and they take him to a hospital where they started treating him. As the nurses took some of his belongings and saw his phone and tried calling some. He has just one phone number on his, and it says mom. As the nurse calls his mother and says, your kid Izuku Midoriya, as uh, she says his name, as Inko says, just what happened to him. As the nurse says, we are in this hospital and there's been an accident. As Nico is scared, as the nurse says, you need to come here immediately. As the nurse gives Rinko the address, as Rinko is rushing there. As when the doctor is they're cleaning Izuku, cutting his clothes and starting surgery on him. As we go to Izuku's mind, there's just complete darkness. As just a minute, guys. As in a dark void, Izuku hears a voice says, So, you are a little bit different than the other humans." As Izuku opens up his eyes and sees a dark void and a dark figure of a cat right in front of him, as Izuku jumps back a little bit and says, "Who are you? Where am I? What is your name?" Sorry, not what is your name. He says, "Who are you?" As the dark figure just says, "My name is Black, and I am the Kwami. I am the Kwami of Destruction, kid." As Izuku says, Kwami of Destruction, Black?" As Izuku just nerds out, he's little bit still Izuku, so he's little bit nerds out. As Black says, "Stop doing that. You're annoying me." As Izuku stops, as Izuku stops and says, "So where are we? What is this place?" As Black just says, "Well, you're in your mind, kid." "You're in my mind?" "Yes. We are not in the physical world. We are in the spirit world." As Izuku says, "So wait, I'm dead?" "No, you're not, but you will be if you don't do something." As Flag shows in the doctors who are working on him, taking surgery and all that. As Izuku says, "So why are you here?" As Flag says, I was watching you for a few years, Izuku Midoriya." As Izuku says, "How do you know my name?" "As I said, you dandering idiot." As Izuku says, Izuku is taken aback by this and he flags says, listen fully, then ask just questions. Asks the questions, kid. As Izuku says, fine. As Flag says, as I was saying, I was watching you for a few years now, Izuku Midoriya. Right when you were the age of 10, I believe. As as Flag says, as Izuku says, why? That's when I realized something. In this society, everyone has some kind of ability, though I'm not familiar with it, as Izuku gulps. So I am quite interested to know why don't you have one? As Izuku says, as Izuku explains a little bit about quirks and how all the 99%, 99.5% of the population are have quirks, and the remaining 1.5% don't have quirks. As Plax is a little bit intrigued by this, as those of you who have a little bit of thoughts, yeah, Plague just came here a few years back, and he's intrigued by this quirks and everything. Yeah. Now let's get back into what if. So, as Plague says, so that explains that. So, what's your quirk? As Izuku says, as I said, some of the 1.5% of the population don't have quirks. As Plague gets it now, so you don't have a quirk, do you? As Izuku nods his head. Huh, that explains why I was attracted to you. As Izuku says, attracted to me? Yes. You see, in the I can't control my powers of destruction very well. So I need a partner to manage that for me, so I can at least touch some stuff without them disintegrating or just wiping out an entire city. As Izuku thinks, huh, that must be a challenge for you. As Flag makes an annoyed face and says, yes, it was. Do you have any idea how it was like not to eat anything without destroying half a city? As Izuku just imagines that and says, yeah, no idea. As Flag says, anyway, as Plague says, you are still dying, Izuku Midoriya. As Izuku says, so what I need to do? As Plague says, I will give you two options. I'll give you an offer, Izuku Midoriya. As Izuku says, stop calling me that. Stop calling me what, Izuku Midoriya? Or do you prefer kid? As Izuku says, you can call me kid or just call me Izuku or Midoriya. Just don't call me Izuku Midoriya like that's some kind of title or something. As Black sighs and says, fine, Midoriya or Izuku, whatever. I'll have an offer for you. As Izuku says, what is it? And as Black says, I will give you I will give you or half of my powers to see if you can handle it. If you can, I'll give you a little board if I feel like it. But if I sense any malice or ill will intent from you, I will kill you in an instant without batting any sign of remorse, as Izuku calls. Then why do you even consider giving me this? Because I can see the hearts of people, kid. Hearts? Yeah, guys, I'm just bullshitting my way out of this. I just wanted to make one good video, so let's just get into it. So, yeah, the hearts of people, kid. You have a kind heart, and I think that's a kind heart, but there's something in you just waiting for to escape. As Izuku says, huh, you might be right about that. As Flag says, anyway, the offer is that I'll give you half of my power. You'll become the next Chat Noir. As Izuku thinks, Chat Noir, what's that? As Flag says, I'll explain afterwards, kid. It basically means you'll have super strength, super speed, so you will not able, you can't fly without first mastering this 50% of my power. As Izuku says, huh, okay. As Flag says, if you can master this, I will give you more. But first, will you accept my offer, Midoriya or Izuku? Do you prefer it? As Izuku just says, well, I got nothing to lose. I am going to die if I don't take this offer, right? Yeah, that's probably a case. That's probably what will happen. As Izuku says, fine, I'll take your offer. Kwame of Destruction. Flag. As Flag's grins and not grins as smirks in and says, good. As if we need to make this a permanent thing, I need to fuse with your soul. As Izuku says, fuse with my soul. Won't be that. It's kind of. It sounds risky. As Flag says, no, it's not risky at all. I will just enter a contract, a spirit and a human contract, or you can call it a Kwame and a human contract. As Izuku says, fine. It won't hurt though, right? Yeah, it won't. But I do have some rules. As Izuku says, what kind of rules? As Black says, there are only two rules. First, you must. I'll give you a ring, and you must keep it on you at all times. You should not take it off at any cost. As Izuku nods his head, yeah, I can do that. And rule number two, I cannot see you. No one else can see me, or hear me, except you. And if I want to, I can make myself seen to others, but only if I feel like it. As Izuku nods his head, and there are still the two things I want. As Izuku says, but you said only two. I didn't say. I said have some rules. As Izuku sighs and says, so what are the other two? As Flag says, you will give me something to eat every morning, every time I'm hungry. Every morning and every time I say I'm hungry. As Izuku says, what kind of rule is that? Just say yes, kid. As Izuku says, I've got nothing to lose. As Izuku says yes. As as Flag says, and one more thing. Can you can I say, and one more thing, and one more rule. You can't tell anyone unless I approve that you can't tell anyone about me unless I say so. As Izuku says, that won't be a problem. I mean, who am I going to tell that I have a spirit? That I made a contract with a spirit when I was dying, and he gave me powers so that I can be whatever I want to be. As Flag says, that could be a little bit hard to explain. As Izuku thinks about that, as as he says, I agree everything to you, Flag. There is one more thing that I want from you. As Flag says, what is that? I want to know everything about you, Flag. How did you get here and everything? Why are you the only Kwame in this one? As Flag is little bit shocked by this. As he says, what makes you think that I am the only one here? As Izuku thinks and says, "Well, you said that you were the only Kwami here at I think no, 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 wait." As Plague says, "What makes you think that I am the only one here?" As Izuku thinks, "Don't know, just a guessed." As Plague just says, "Fine, I'll explain everything if you accept. Now, quickly, we don't have that much time. The spirit is leaving your body." As Izuku says, "Fine, just what should I do?" As Plague says, "I'll just take this ring, kid." As Plague gives Izuku a ring, as Izuku puts it on, as the ring started to glow, uh, as the ring started to change color, as it turns black and green.